And it's a wonderful thing too. And as hard as it is for some of us find it very difficult. In fact, some of us find it so difficult we can't even come on this day because they get so sad. But the tears that we shed today are tears of honoring and remembrance and well-wishing, don't you think? Yes. Yes. And it's a lovely way for us to feel their presence in an honoring way. And so, dear hearts, today, the topic for the month, as far as the whole community is concerned, is reaching the summit. Now, when you and I think of reaching the summit, we may be thinking different things. I'm not thinking of reaching the mountaintop, the summit. I've been to mountaintops. There's always another one higher. But it means reaching the summit of your understanding and your awareness of your true essential essence, reaching into the center core of your being and getting to that glow there, that power, that if you like, generator of supreme energy, and drawing from it in a way that you actually feel it, and you know beyond a doubt that yes, right where I am, that power and that energy is here. It truly is. And it revives us, and it restores us, and it picks us up, even if it is only for 2 minutes, or 2 days, or 2 weeks. It does it. But the thing about that is, once you've reached it once, you can reach it again, and again, and again. And each time you do, the way will be made more familiar to you, and the length of the experience will be longer, and the spaces in between will be shorter. But don't take my word for it. Keep doing it. Keep showing up for it. It's like anything else, you have to show up for it. You have to take the time out. And be with yourself. Now there's a novel thing. Be with yourself in this world of gadgetry, in this world of noise, in this world of distraction, in this world of addiction to it all. And listen, my dear ones, if you would give yourself that opportunity to be in your own company and give yourself time with your great self, you'll say to yourself, oh my God, I've been here all this time and I'm only now coming to this. What's the matter with me? And it's not that you and I have not had the invitation, because that's what today and the coming 2 months is about. Invitation. It's about invitation. To go higher, to go deeper, to go wider into your own soulfulness, which will show up in huge blessings in your outer experience. But do you have that kind of commitment in you? Yes. Oh, there's one of us has. Isn't that wonderful? Give her a round of applause. Well, maybe that energy will be catching. However, it doesn't matter what I say to you here, because most of the time we don't remember a thing that anybody says. The only thing we really remember is a feeling. It's a feeling. We'll always remember a feeling. We may not remember exactly what they said, and even sometimes the place or the person, but we remember the feeling, the feeling, the feeling. I assure you, your work on yourself, my work on myself is well worth the feeling. It's so well worth the feeling. And there's no amount of CBD oil or anything else could compare with the kind of feeling you and I could have if we would CBD ourselves, or whatever anybody else uses. But the CBD is very, very popular right now. And you know what? If it works for you, it's God in action. If you respect it, it's God in action. If you have faith in it, it's God in action. Because it's not going to do you any harm, and it might indeed do you a great deal of good. But all of this is paling by the spiritual elixir that you have in yourself. But the thing about this, and I've learned this, and I've learned it the hard way, that if you're far too busy in your life, far too distracted in your life, far too unaware of your own individual life, it's more difficult to get to that. Because I have to do this, and I have to do that, and I have to do the other. We behave ourselves like we're indispensable, and we're not. We're really not. No one is. And we can get to do wonderful good things and serve in wonderful full ways, but we'll even do that better if we first serve the self of ourselves. Does that make sense? First serve the self, capital S, of yourself. And then the rest will become absolutely, amazingly, wondrously good and easier. And it will be balanced. There's a novel word for most of us in this room. Balance. Balance. So what is it going to be for you now for the coming days and the coming last 2 months of this year? Because this time of year is all about invitation. Invitation. Invitation to what? To yourself. It's no small thing that all the world major religions have their super duper feasts at this time, their celebrations. And they're all celebrating the one thing at this time: light, light, light. When did you last say to yourself, let there be light within me? Let there be light emanating through me. Let there be light wherever I am, with whomever I am, however I am. Let there be light, and may the light preserve me and guard me and guide me from being so much smaller than I'm created to be. People want this thing called enlightenment. And I can remember, and he wasn't the first one to say it, the Dalai Lama saying, enlightenment is nothing. When you reach enlightenment, it's nothing. Chop wood, carry water after it, chop wood, carry water. But what comes through it is a conviction. It's a conviction of your own true self. That's enlightenment. Conviction of your own true self, so that you're no longer shaken around by person, places, and things in the outer world, to the point that you're no longer under the power, under the spell and mesmerism of the outer world, to the point that nobody can stop you or block you or cause you to lose your sense of yourself or question yourself with regard to your value and your worth. And no one can help you to feel worthy except yourself. You do not need any person, place, or thing to help you to feel worthy. You know, you're not going to feel worthy, doesn't matter what adulation comes at you, unless you've recognized that you are. We can talk until doomsday. We can talk until the day of glory. We can talk and talk, and we do. And it doesn't matter what great good speakers we hear and what great good books we read and what great good shows we see, and all of that means nothing if I'm allowing myself to think that something or someone out there has the answer to my wholeness and wellness and integration and awakening. States in our manual that our vision is that all humanity awaken to its radiant magnificence. And to do that, we're reminded, we have to come to the understanding of the power of mind, and especially our own. And when we do, we've got to use that power of mind to the good. My own and everybody else's. Oh, Lord, preserve us. You sit down, you listen to people's conversations, including your own, participating in those conversations, and you think, ugh. beam us all up, Scotty, because really we need to start over again. Because no faith in yourself, that's why. No real belief, no real faith in your worthiness. You haven't yet come home to yourself. You haven't yet found your way back into releasing the light that is you and the light within you. You haven't found yourself back yet. And yet, you and I'll guarantee you, we'll go out through those doors and we'll keep looking, keep searching. I'm lost, I don't know how to find myself. You're not lost. Nothing is ever lost in the universe. But you are in spiritual amnesia. So am I at times. We need to wake up. As the Advent hymn says, awake, awake, the night is dying. Awake, awake. Come, come, come. Maranatha is the cry of Advent. Come. Come what? Christ conscious awareness. Rise up in me. Come through me. It's not going to come to you. It's coming through you. It's already in you. We don't get that really enough. So when we say, come, 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 get yourself out of there and move through the portal of grace and be what you're here to be, what you're created to be, and who you truly are. And as long as you and I are really racing ourselves around the place, and as long as you and I are agitated about, they have more than I have. Well, that's not fair. I need to have this and that and the other, and I'm jolly well going to get it. And she's got this and he's got that, and I better be careful, and I better watch her, and I better watch him, and God knows what's going on over there, what they're plotting and planning, and oh, Lord, preserve us the damage we do to ourselves. I mean, do you think that conversation is about individualized expressions of spirit? Because everybody is. And until you and I can truly put our finger on that button that is our deep self, roll that stone away that has accumulated over many years of spiritual amnesia, and let out the light. Who do you think is going to reassure you enough for you to feel worthy? Who do you think is going to reassure you enough to feel good about yourself? Who do you think is going to reassure you enough so that you can stand tall and know, I am the place where God shows up, living, moving, having its being in and through and by means of me. I am that outlet to the inlet of that amazing presence. You can get all the adulation in the world. You can get all the praise in the world. People can slap you on the back and tell you how wonderful you are, at least to your face. And yet, you'll feel empty. Because you haven't slapped yourself on the back because you've recognized who and what you are. You haven't stood tall in your understanding that I am this unique, essential, individualized expression of the one life needed to be here right now, so I can be part of that vanguard that creates the way into the new experience of life and living on planet Earth. That's what you're here for, and that's who you are. I'm not going to ever convince you of that. No one is. You have to know that for yourself. I am more than enough, and the enoughness that I am is spirit in form by means of me. Is that not enough for you? And it squishes my heart when I hear people talk to each other like that. What do you think you're ever going to amount to? You're never going to come to much. You're just like you're this. You're just like you're that. Who do you think you are? Don't get too ahead of yourself now, Buster. Hear it all the time. Well, who is any one of us to turn to somebody else and say that? We're not being who we are, that's for sure. And if we're not being who we are, that upliftment and that light and that supportive and that healing balm and that creative expression, what in God's name are we being? I don't even think about that. I'll say we're just people who have lost our way and we're suffering from amnesia, spiritual amnesia. And like the scripture says, Father, forgive us, for we know not what we do. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. It's no use saying, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Say, Father, forgive us, for we know not what they do. Them is me. Them is us. And so every individual on this planet has the absolute right to and the entitlement to know that they are essential, they are unique, and they belong here in this clan of humanity. And there's only one clan. It's the clan of humanity, and all are belonging to it. Dare any one of us say otherwise and call ourselves anything that has to do with spirituality? We are spiritual students of the truth. Students. And as long as we're wearing this body on this plane, we'll always remain a student of the truth. Now, students, when they learn enough, they can be demonstrators of the truth. They can be demonstrators of the truth. They can be the love and the light and the goodness and the help out there in the world. But mark my words, you're never going to be any of that, and neither am I, until I first come to home to myself, to my own truth. I can't convince somebody of something I haven't yet grasped for myself. I can get a little bit of leeway there, but not really anything like the oomph I could have. If I knew of myself, I'm not expected to do all of this. No, I'm just expected to get out of the way and let Spirit work through me. Just be its sort of, outlet. As it is stated in our teaching, I am the inlet to the outlet of Spirit's own life. The inlet of grace and the outlet of grace. Well, listen into your conversation with other people and listen into other people's conversations. You wouldn't get that impression from most conversations, I'm sad to say. Most conversations are filled with condemnations and criticisms and suspicions. And I'll guarantee you, if we're engaged in that, others are engaged in that with our regard to. Only what goes out there from me comes back to me. Only what goes out there from you comes back to you. Whether it's a thought or a feeling, a word or a deed, whatever. So let us be careful now. And we have this wonderful opportunity in the next 2 months, because these are the months of invitation. Come higher, friend. Get quieter, friend. Be more still, friend. Look to yourself. Look to yourself. And see, in fact, that the star of Spirit is shining right through you, not over you, through you. You are the star of Bethlehem, and I speak Bethlehem in a much wider understanding than we Christians, those of us who are first introduced to spiritual life through Christianity, might imagine. There's one star, there's one light, there's one life. And it's the power, the presence, and the energy of infinite, unconditional love. And it resides right here, believe it or not, in each one of you, believe it or not, and every person in existence. Yes, even the one lying down in the gutter with the brown paper bag and the empty bottle. You could absolutely bow down before that person, because that person contains that presence and that power of spirit and is a tabernacle, a beholder of the one light, the one life. And you get to be that, my dear ones. So what are we going to do with all of this light and all of this love and all of this power and all of this presence and all of this energy? We're going to squander it bickering with each other, mistrusting each other, suspicious of each other, Do we want to squander the truth, the essence of our being like that? Or do we want to start fresh? And I'm inviting us all now from this day on, until the end of the year, to build up great energy within so that we can build up great energy within our world, so that, please God, we can go into a much more advanced understanding and awareness of truth in the new year. Now, how do you think it's going to happen if you're not going to make it happen? Nobody else is coming to make it happen. You're the ones that have said, I'm going to do it. Send me in. Now, you are the Marines, the spiritual Marines. What kind of a job do you think you've been doing? No matter how good the job you've been doing is, you could do better, and so could I. So let's get our get up and go up and leave behind everything that's behind us, good, bad, and indifferent, and start afresh. And know, not only does the sun come up tomorrow, but I am the sun that comes up tomorrow. Because if I'm not, there'll be no light. So I better get my shiny self up and ready to be that difference between darkness and light. Get out of the twilight which many of us live in. It's neither this, it's neither that, it's twilight. Make up your mind. Are you going to live in the twilight forever? And surely I know you're not going to fall into the dark side. So let's do it. Let's just run straight and fall straight into the light. And let us be it, because we can. That's why we're here. And I don't care what you've been telling yourself about yourself, what others have been telling you about you, or what you're hearing others are saying about you, which everybody hears because everybody is saying something about someone. And they're not taking care of their own business. That's why Jesus said, I love the man. He was a great psychologist. That's why he said, for goodness sake, leave the little speck alone in your brother's eye. Do you not see the great big hulking log in your own? And until you take it out, you're going to be deluded and keep looking for that speck in everybody else's eye because you're half blind. You know? God, you're amazing. You're amazing. You're terrifically great. And wouldn't it be lovely if you knew that for yourself? Don't depend on others to help you to know that about yourself. They can't do it. It's your job to do. You stand tall, you get up, and you say, oh my God, look at this. I've made it into a day. Another day. This day is mine. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I'm glad, and I rejoice in it. This is the day when any great good thing can happen in my life. Anything can change around. Anything. I could mend and fix and heal anything if I'm open to it and I believe in it and I say yes to Spirit doing it in and through by means of me. Do you think you could do that? Yes. Let's try it for the rest of the day and see if we'll even make it to the dusk. But I will say, When you wake up and realize, oh, I forgot what I was going to do, jump back on that little horsey and get going. Doesn't matter how many times you fall, ancient wisdom said, as long as you get up again. As long as you get up again. That's what Edison said, you know? Failing is not at all anything that's a bad thing, he says. As long as you know you can take another stab at it and have another chance at it. Go for it. 1,000 times he had to try to get that bulb, and you can imagine what he was calling it by the time he was getting down to the last 100. But he did it. You get back up and you brush yourself off and you take another step forward and you make up your mind, darn it, this is not who I am, this is not what I am. I am truly wanting and deciding and agreeing to be what I came here to be, my great, good, best self. So there. See if I won't. So, my dear ones, that's what we're thinking about today, and that's what we're thinking about all week. And I know you're going to have great stories at the end of the week. Keep your little notebook and record your successes, none of your failures. Don't go near failures. Record your successes. And then you'll get giddy with delight and you'll want to record more. So know who you are and what you are, but more than that, know that you're not alone. And Spirit, you couldn't do it without Spirit's help, but Spirit has to be invited. Invite. So now, say with me. Say with me, it's important. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. I'm ready to know myself as Spirit knows me, as a portal of light, as a cradle of love, as an amazing expression of strength and might. Because that's what I am. And I am now determined to accommodate it. Because I am the space where God shows up. And that's the truth. Over and out. And so it is. So it is. And now, and now, my dear ones, we're going to have our little celebration of, where is my envelope? La-di-da, la-di-da, I know where my envelope is, it's on my desk. And the good Reverend Catherine will come after me for it as soon as the service is over. She's very diligent in her commitment and dedication to what she does. So let's take our gift, our beautiful gift, which is a representation of ourselves. Hold that gift between our blessing hands and say, Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper. All those who give, and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love. And so it is. So indeed it is. And now, Reverend Catherine is going to share something with us.
One of the things that I have heard many different times at our center is, good comes from everything. Most of, not all of the time, but most of the people who say it speak about this of themselves and of a recent experience. I have to say, I've wondered about that because I have some things that have happened that didn't seem good to me in any way. And then a couple of weeks ago, I had an accident. I wasn't hurt, but I was really shaken up. So I'm thinking at the time, well, I wasn't hurt, so that's something. But that's not the same thing as having good come out of the experience. But because of that incident, I met several people that I didn't know before. One of them has become a friend, and we continue to marvel at how we met. So now I've had an experience of good comes from everything. Thank you for helping me see that.
Story. That's a wonderful story. But remember, I always add when I say that, good comes out of everything. When I know good comes out of everything. You gotta know it. And now, my dear ones, this is the time when we honor our loved ones who have passed with a flower, which is a beautiful symbol of life and a symbol of our love. And what we do is we take our flower and we come forward, and we're just going to lay the flower in the baskets, and we're just going to know that as we're doing this, and as we're in the process of this, as we're in the process of it, we are absolutely in the presence of our loved ones, and they are very present to us. So, if you all want to come forward one at a time, take your time. This is for my parents and family and all my loved ones who have gone before me. All right, in you go. You've got a very long stem, a long lifetime. So here we are, 2 baskets. Mary, where did you come from?
Space.
Oh, you weren't here until, I don't know, you appeared. Oh, I'm telling you, she's been working on this for such a long time, and she's improving now. She's showing up. Unexpectedly, out of nowhere. And soon she'll be soaring and bringing us all with her, aren't you?
Yes.
Mark my words, I'm not joking. All right, you can come right up now, and where's the music? Did we put on the tape? So this side we can go to Reverend Mary, and this side.
Blessings to you, my friend. Blessings to you, my sister, with a love that has no end. Blessings to you, my mother. Blessings to you, my friend. Blessings to you, my Father, with a love that has no end. Benedictus Amen. Shalom Adonai. Kyrie Benedictus Amen. Shalom Adonai. Kyrie Blessings to you, my sister. Blessings to you, my friend. Blessings to you, my brother. May you live in a love that has no end. Blessings to you, my brother. Blessings to you, my friend. Blessings to you, my sister, with a love that has no end. Blessings to you, my mother.
And then I'll give you this one, because this one is heavy too. There we go. Now I recommend everybody that you, as far as I know, the service is not over yet, you youngster. You can audition right now if you want to. We'll wait. Stay with the energy of your loved ones for the rest of the day. Stay with them in joy and see what they might have to impart to you. You never know. And just know that always and ever they are speaking to us in one way or another if we're paying attention. And they come in mysterious ways, and you yourself know that. And so I want to thank you all for being here today. It's an auspicious day for us in Redondo because this is the day we remember our loved ones who have gone before us and are preparing the way. I want to thank everybody who's looking in, our dear, dear friends who have kept us all going when no one could be in the sanctuary except those who were serving the service. Thank you so much. We think of you just as much as we always think of you, and we send love your way. Grateful to everybody here coming to rebuild the community and be part of this new life that we are going to be putting together and building together. And it'll be something glorious once we know that. And very soon we'll be getting together in little circle groups and seeing what the next step is. Okay, in the meantime, know that you're loved, know you're appreciated, know that you really are prayed up. And if there is any way we can be of assistance to you, don't hesitate to call in or to come in and seek that help. That's what we're here for. I want to thank everybody who served in the service today, all our wonderful ministers, practitioners, and volunteers, because we couldn't be who we are without you all, and you're very dear to us. So we are ready now to have our song and get out there and splash that light all around the place. Because if you don't splash it around, it's not going to come back to you. Do you understand? I mean, it's a self-serving thing in a way. So we'll stand for our peace song now. We're going to know all is well.